Imagine you were born a wrinkled, frail old man, and every single year after that, you got younger. Not metaphorically, physically, until the day you died, as a newborn baby. We treat aging like a one-way street. Born small and helpless, you grow into your strength, and you fade out weak and helpless again. That's just how life works. Nobody questions the direction. But flip that arrow, and something strange happens. Reverse aging life isn't just regular life backward. It changes what memory means, what love means, and, weirdly, it might make death more terrifying, not less. Stick with me for the next few minutes, because by the end you'll have a full mental model of this world. One that a lot of what-if videos skip past by just retelling a movie plot. This isn't that. This is the mechanics, worked out properly. Here's where we're going. We'll walk through what your body would actually look like at 5 life checkpoints. We'll figure out how memory would have to work for any of this to make sense. We'll see how relationships get turned inside out. And we'll end on a question you'll probably still be arguing about tomorrow. In this world, you don't grow up and leave your parents. You shrink and need them more over time. Picture a couple's wedding happening when both partners are physically in their 70s and 80s. Full of life experience, but frail. As decades pass, they get physically younger and stronger together, until eventually one of them is caring for the other like an infant, because that's exactly what they've become. Every milestone flips its emotional weight. Retirement happens at the start of life. First steps happen at the end. The last thing anyone in this world does isn't write a will. It's learn to crawl. But here's the question that actually breaks this whole scenario if we don't answer it carefully. What's happening inside their heads while all this is going on? For this world to make any emotional sense, not just be a body horror gimmick, memory and consciousness have to move forward normally, even while the body ages backward. So a person is born old with zero memories, like any newborn, except in an old, frail shell. They learn to talk, walk, and think for the first time, just like a baby does, except their body is aging down the whole time. By the time they're in their physical 30s, they've had 30 years of lived experience and memory, same as anyone. This is what makes the ending so heavy. The final years of this life aren't a blank slate. They're the most knowledge, memory, and identity a person has ever had, packed into a body that looks like a toddler, then an infant. You die with an entire life of memory, in a body that can't even hold up its own head. And once you accept that rule, the way society would have to handle death gets even stranger. Let's get concrete. 5 checkpoints define this life. Checkpoint 1. Birth as an elderly body. Frail, wrinkled, low muscle mass, but somehow alive and drawing first breath. Checkpoint 2. Growing into middle-aged strength. Bones densify, skin tightens, the body gains power instead of losing it. Checkpoint 3. Peak youth, physical prime. Hit not at 25 like now, but as a midpoint. Both directions of life balanced around it. Checkpoint 4. Decline into a teenager, then a child. Smaller, weaker, more dependent again. Checkpoint 5. Infancy, and then death. As literally the smallest, most fragile version of that person that ever existed. That last checkpoint is the part people get wrong when they imagine this. It's not a gentle, peaceful fate. It's the single most vulnerable, unprotected moment of a life, happening right at the very end, with zero physical ability to survive without someone else's hands. Which raises an uncomfortable practical question nobody usually asks about this idea. Who's even taking care of you when you disappear? If this were how life actually worked, entire institutions would flip. Hospitals wouldn't specialize in elder care for the end of life. They'd specialize in it for the beginning. Funerals wouldn't happen at a grave for a body in decline. They'd essentially double as births, with a room full of people watching someone vanish into infancy. Then nothing. Parenting wouldn't mean raising someone toward independence. It would mean walking someone gently out of it. Our entire culture's obsession with staying young would evaporate. Youth wouldn't be something you chase. It'd be something you already used up at the start. So after all that, here's the part that actually matters. Would you take this trade? Let's bring it together. We started with a simple flip, old to young instead of young to old, and it turned into something much bigger. A world where memory moves forward, but the body doesn't. Where relationships run backward, and where death is the most fragile, unprotected moment of an entire life. Not the gentlest one. That's a lot more than imagine getting younger, which is all this idea usually gets reduced to. Here's the one more thing worth sitting with. In this reversed world, everyone gets to end their life with the least responsibility, the least pain of loss, and total innocence. But they have to spend their most capable, powerful years, already carrying the full weight of everything they've lived through. So really, the question isn't whether you'd want this life. It's which end of it you'd actually be more afraid to reach. Drop your answer in the comments. I want to see where people land on this one, and I'll see you there.